Well, hello and welcome to this month's Crochet and Chat. I have to say I am super glad that I actually scheduled it because it did as planned and it got me out of bed. I didn't have the best of night's sleep, so it was nice to be forced. So I haven't had my full coffee yet, so excuse me while I have some coffee. But I do have lots of things to crochet and chat about. So you can see here that I am making one of my squares a day because I did put out a vote a little while ago for should I do my Clubhouse bubble box or should I do a stash buster, because I couldn't decide, and apparently neither could any of you as a collective because the vote kept being 50-50. So I decided to do both because, well, I wanted to do both. And after doing the other large square, it seemed like an easy feat because these are essentially equivalent to a large square, making a couple of them. So yeah, so that's what I've been making. So let me show you. I'll be stopping and starting this a fair bit, I think. So I'm still recovering from some surgery as well. I had wide excision to make sure that my melanoma was removed, and thankfully it was. I saw the surgeon's nurse on Thursday, and this wound is healing well, which is also nice to see because the initial one, I didn't follow the rules given to me as well as I should have, and it ended up looking pretty yicky. So luckily that bit was getting cut out, but I learned my lesson and I'm following the rules for this one, probably going a little bit over the top in following the rules. So yeah, so this one I'm making, so these are all in my Clubhouse colours. I'll get the bubble box out, I'll just finish this round. So my Clubhouse colours, which you'll see as it's in lots of my photos and images and things, are these colours. So I've got, it might be easier to show you the thing. So these are all I love a bubble box because they're like a Lola all split up into pieces. So I think, what are these? I think these are 50 grams. And I'm using a 3mm hook because I like them closer together. But you can see there's all the different colours, so they sort of blend and meld. So if I show you the squares up close, we've got one of each. So my intent for this, so I'm just doing a 4-round solid granny, and you can see the stitches are so nice and crisp. I do love these. And I'm planning on turning it into a jumper, which will be lots of randomly placed probably. We'll see how I end up with that. But you can see I'll get the Lola. So I'm going to order more of these bobble boxes too because I love to just have them to look at. So that's the Lola that I had designed. So this is my own design. So through Ballet Yarns we can actually design our own. So I sent her my colour palette and Yasmin did the wonderful job of picking the right colours and having it turned into the Lola. So yay. And I am intending to order some more so that next time I open the doors to the Clubhouse and we have our scavenger hunt, some of these will be the prize. So I am looking forward to that. Sorry, I haven't had enough coffee yet. But anyway, my other square a day project, so the one I actually finished, let me see, I don't think I've shown it up close and personal. Oops, sorry, chair's in the way. So this was I can't show it in full here. This was my stash. You can see I've got a split round as well. I joined with a magic knot. So I've used moss stitch. And for this one, I love the moss stitch. So moss stitch is just a single crochet chain one, and then you work in the chain space for the next round. So I've alternated black and a coloured round. So the black kind of separates them. I've done that in ombre. I've done it in one colour. I've done it in alternate with the same 2 colours. Lots of variations. Simple border. But this one was a stash buster from my Tetris blanket that I designed years ago. And this was a 8 round granny, so 7 rounds of colour and then joined as I went in black. I still got lots of yarn left though, because I could have made it bigger, but I didn't really have enough colour combos for the size left to do that. So instead, so my son's getting that blanket, my eldest son. Instead, I'm making the circle to square with the stash. So some of these I've gone ahead and made extra circles because there was only small bits of yarn left. So I went ahead because I don't like seeing all the little bits and pieces around. But I'll see if I can get the basket up here as well. So these are essentially the colours I've got left. So I've got all full bowl of blue, orange and green. I've got some red left, some purple. Still some varieties of green, bit hard to show you there, and a couple of balls of grey, and I've still got 3 of black left. So what I'm decided with this one is I will keep making it and then decide on a layout based on how many squares of each colour I have left. Yeah, I haven't decided on exactly how to lay it out yet, but I'm going to have lots of orange and green, so whether I have that as a big section of it or break it up with the other colours, still to decide. But this is where the paint box acrylic 100% acrylic isn't my favourite to play with. I did buy this before I knew what my favourite was, which I'm sure many of us have experienced. So I do have quite a large number of these left, and I still have some in other colours which I thought might work well eventually with mosaics. I bought the mosaic book, which was a Clubhouse prize time before last. So yeah, there's some nice colours there that aren't quite as vibrant as these. So yeah, so let's see, what else have we got? So I've got around me, you can't see it all, but there's a lot of things going on around here. So let me share the Clubhouse Projects. We haven't done that yet. So this is this month's. So we've got we're playing around with some different yarns. So we've got twinkle yarn in this. If I can get up close, can you see the sparkle? And a Katona. I always forget which is which. Yes. Katona, which is the mercerized cotton. So the twinkle's supposed to have a 4mm hook. The mercerized has a 3mm. So we've played with different hook sizes and different yarn textures here. And I love it. I got a message from Liz today. Well, yesterday and today, because she's one of our new members, brand new, and she's so excited because she actually finished this pattern. And then this morning she was even more excited because in our hook and learn lesson this week I included how to change colours, because both skills are needed in this, because for this we carried the colours through. And she was so excited because she managed to do it 3 times, so I'm excited for her. That's what I do this for. So yes, super excited to see progress. So then once that's mastered, if they're up to it, we have this great big cushion, which my daughter's unhappy with me because I keep stealing it back from her to show people. But this uses the Fairy Tales yarn. Now I bought this yarn with the intent of making purple teddy bear or a full cushion. Now Fairy Tales is not the easiest yarn to play with. You cannot see your stitches. You have to play by feel. So I kept it simple. We're not too strict on stitch count, which doesn't matter too much with the cushion because you can't see it anyway. And this ends up being the back because I carried the colours through, which is why we've got this spot here where you can see them, because I was intending on this being the back, but I got a long way through and then realised that it was actually fluffier on the back, and we liked it fluffier, so unfortunately. So next time I will actually change colours instead of carrying it through. But yeah, so, but if those of our members that don't want to play with the Fairy Tales, what I've recommended instead is trying maybe a thicker yarn, because this supposed to use a 9mm hook and I used a 5. And the yarn in between, I used a 5mm hook as a knit picks that I had in my stash. So great stash buster. You could alternate. I reckon this would look cool just in different colours. So where the fairy is, you could make it different colours and keep the one colour in between. You could just have 2 colours. So many varieties. I might actually make more because this was a fun design. And the back, I'll switch it out from under the camera. So it's got style on the back as well. And for this one, we sewed it together. And I showed Clubhouse members in a tutorial this week exactly how to do that as well. 3 different variations for sewing together. I did sew through both loops because I wanted that ridge and I wanted it to be stronger. But yeah, that's what we did. All right, what else have I got here? So many things. Oh, the square. Now the square this month isn't a square, it's a hexagon. And I don't know why, but I love these ones where I've done the alternate. That's better in the light without fingers and things. But seeing the alternate. So I've done a granny square this way as well. But I just love this one. I don't know why they speak to me so much more. But I would like to make a blanket out of these too. And I've got some other acrylic stash that I'd probably use up for that as well. We'll see how we go from there. So what else have I got? Crochet. Oh, I might sit down again. So welcome if you have joined me live, and hello if you're on the replay. This is this month's washcloth. So this is coming out this week, I believe. So this month we're working in the rounds just like we are in the Clubhouse, and I'm playing around with the back post double crochet. This one would be awesome for scrubbing actually because of the ridges. Simple border on it, which is a back post single crochet, but that one will be on my blog this week, the pattern in my store within the next few days as well. So another fun one. And next month for them I am playing around with a filet design, which was based on, I've got a cardigan. I love cardigans, and I've got one where on the sleeves it's got a filet design. So I've actually used that as my inspiration to create a filet chart. So I've just got to play around with it. But for this month, we've got this one coming out. And last month, where's last month's one? Oh, let me find it. It might be hidden away. Oh, it is. I think it's right at the bottom. Is that it? I think that was last month's. This one's a favourite as well. This one was texture, and it's got a cross stitch in it. So this one's a very pretty one. Lots of fun on that one. Fun, a square a day. So this one came out last week. I don't know about you, but the weather's cooling off. My hands, I've had purple hands the last couple of days for parts of the day. So I've created these gloves. So they are on my blog now. I've created gloves before, but this one didn't weave my end in very well. Handy because they keep your hands warm and you still got your fingers. So I've used these during the week, still while working and while not working. But this was out of a cotton, so that's on there now if you want to go check out the blog. And I'm showing Clubhouse members this week how I made them, explaining all the stitches and different things I did. Because I did get a little bit more creative on these ones. Got a little thumb hole on them, a bit longer band, which could have been extended as well. And I was using up some stash from my Bendigo Woolen Mills cotton on that one. So lots of fun. I need more coffee. Excuse me. And then I'm also, so I made a deal with myself that I would work through hand-dyed yarn. So this one is one I'm playing with. It's a chunky or bulky, I don't know. I lost the label. I think this, my dog got to some of this at some stage. So I've got this skein that I'm playing with, and I shall turn it into something that you will find out the beginning of next month. So that one should work out relatively quickly when I get back to it. But I'm also been working on this pretty little number. So this is a sock yarn, I believe. I don't have the label anymore either. So soft though. Maybe it's got something else in it. But this is my, what do I call this? Spring something or other. It's an infinity scarf. So I've made this a couple of times with I've made it with a chunky as well actually. It just ended up wider and way shorter. I donated that to something. And then this one. So the colours are working out quite pretty. It's almost like a diagonal little pattern within a pattern there. So I'm working my way through that one. So I'm still on track with using up at least one hand-dyed yarn a month. This one's a little bit longer to work through though, because it is only using a 2.5mm hook. Or maybe I'm using a 2mm. Oh, I should keep the hooks with them, shouldn't I? I need some of those stitch markers I gave away as scavenger prizes eventually. And see, I told you I have lots and lots of things to cover today. This one, you can't tell what it is yet, but it's going to be a cat. I had a request from a cousin she saw these cats in a group. They're in 4 different colours, and of course she wants 4 different colours. So the yarn came in a while ago, and I was waiting on, the wire came in a while ago, but I was waiting on noses and eyes, and so all of that's arrived now, so I can't put it off anymore. So I did start making this cat last week, and I'm using Bendigo's woolen yarn cotton again, a DK or 8-ply with a 2.5mm hook, and I think it's working out quite nicely. I've not gone quite that smaller hook with that size yarn before, but having lots of fun with it. All right, let me see. Let me get back onto making some of this. So a couple of other things that are coming. You might have seen my reel yesterday. Is that save the date? My next Square a Day challenge is starting up in June. I am taking sign-ups at the end of this month. So that will be a challenge before I open up the Clubhouse doors again. So I'm excited for that because I am hoping to get lots and lots and lots of people in the challenge because I do love to see the progress. We had so many beginners last time as well, and it's so awesome to see them go from not being able to crochet for some of them to making squares and other things. So always exciting time for me. And yeah, so that, keep your eyes out for it. Make sure you're following so that you don't miss it. But I will start taking sign-ups for that closer at the end of the month. And if you've been thinking about joining the Clubhouse or the Hooked on Crochet Club ever, then next time I open my doors in June is probably the best time to join, because after that I am going to start charging closer to what it is actually worth to be in the Clubhouse. So anyone that joins or is already a member or joins before or in the next doors open, which is in June, you will get in at the current rate, and it will always stay at the rate that you are on. I don't change it for those that are current members, but I am putting up the price. I've been told to put it up higher, but I'm a little nervous about that, but I do know that I offer a lot of value. You won't get what I'm offering anywhere else, so it's time to charge what I am worth, or closer to what I am worth, and what the Clubhouse can do for you and for everyone. So if you've been sitting on the fence, June is the last time to sit on the fence because the prices will go up after that. What else do we have? I've got a tutorial coming out week after next as well, and I'm thinking that I will make it on colour changes because there seems to be, I know there's some new members in the Clubhouse. I know that's why I stick with Lola's as well, because I don't like to change colours, but there are different ways that you can do it for different purposes. So I'll give a colour change tutorial on at least one of those. Now I'm just seeing, I actually wrote a list today too to see if I covered everything, and I think I almost have. So I hope that your month has been productive as well. If you need anything, just let me know. I'm always here. And I'm actually liking these better as a monthly thing. I'm so glad that I pre-planned it so that I got out of bed. I cannot admit to getting out of my pajamas though. I'm still sitting here in my PJs. But baby steps. I have a lunch with a friend today, which is why I also wanted to be up early so I could get some things done before I went and had a relaxing afternoon. And the sun has come out, so it is nice. And I guess looking at this too, if anyone ever has been put off by these yarns, because you can see that they're actually 4 individual strands, and hopefully you can see as I'm using it that it's not actually as hard as it looks. Some people I know have trouble, but I think because of the way I hold the hook and yarn, I don't really have any more trouble than a normal thing. I know you can add a bead to it to hold it together if you do struggle, but I don't find that same struggle. I think that's partly why. But yeah, so this, I don't know how many squares I need for a jumper. I'll just keep making it until it looks about right. I made quite a few in a bigger size for a top, so I think I'll be doing this one for a while. But as I said, I am going to order more of these. So this is my own colorway. Oh, and I've got a call with Yasmin today as well, because we've got some secret little plans going on for a design that I am doing for colours that she is creating with some other lounges or loungees in Bella May. That's coming out later this year. So I've got a call to discuss some things with that today, which is also exciting. And I've got a giraffe to make. Oh, and I actually pulled out some yarn here. I don't know if you've seen the Terrazzi yarn. I haven't opened it yet. I know I probably should. At the moment, it is just a wall hanging. But I loved all the colours. They're all my colour palette. Well, most of them, majority. Maybe not some of the purples, but I just love these little mini yarns. I haven't decided what I'm going to turn them into yet. Maybe a blanket, and I'll buy more of one of these creams or something to join it with. But I want to get that one out to play with soon as well. But yeah. All right. So I think I have covered all that I need to cover. I do hope you are doing well. We've had COVID in our house. Only my daughter got it, and you'd barely know she had it, so she was lucky. I managed to avoid it and still get all my surgery and whatever else I had to have done. But yeah, it's been good. All right, so I'm going to go and finish this square, make the circle to square, get some things done and go and enjoy my lunch. I need to finish my coffee as well. It won't be my last. So I hope that you have a wonderful weekend. For those of you that are mothers in whatever way makes you a mother, have a lovely Mother's Day tomorrow. And I will be back the first Saturday of next month. And I think I'll stick with scheduling these as well, so that you can, well, it gets me out of bed more than anything else. So yeah, one more round on this one and I'll be done. All right. Bye.